Good morning, Discover and Recover Yoga. It is the 10th of May. Here in the Midwest, a gorgeous, gorgeous morning. Gentle breeze, cool breeze. The sun is bright. The clouds are few. The energy is vibrant. So glad you guys are here. First timers, just if you are, it's just a gentle overview, gentle reminder of this purpose of Discover and Recover Yoga. Effort here is the impetus, the process is to discover those elements, those characteristics, those personality traits which are no longer serving us. It is in today's focus, interestingly enough, perhaps is on worry. That is certainly a characteristic I'm doing my best to try to release, to let go of. In addition, there's anxiety, fear, resentment, envy, procrastination, jealousy. These elements, which have been oftentimes deeply woven into the fabric of our being, really don't serve us well. In an effort to be there, to be of service to those in our midst, whether it be a family, whether it be in the workplace, at home with neighbors, the opportunity to release some of those elements. In doing so, we recover, and we do that through this process, this yoga, mindfulness, and meditation, bringing together the elements, those elements, to see what we can achieve in the area of releasing that which no longer serves us. So we discover, and then we recover. And in the discovering process, guess what? We will uncover things as well. Perhaps things that we haven't thought of, we didn't realize were part of our psyche, part of our DNA. I can say from personal experience, worry has been one of those elements that I've worked on for a long time. And I see it in the marketplace. I see it on the landscape of this path I travel. Maybe you do the same, where people in your midst of this underlying sense of worry, even maybe of doom. I would suggest that we recognize the power of being in the present moment. While we let go of what happened yesterday, and we do our best to not focus or be too worried about what happens tomorrow. It is this present mindedness, so my mantra, one of my favorite mantras, is to just gently remind students and clients that the body and the breath are always, even though I'm trying to mitigate or eliminate the use of the word always in my vocabulary, in this context, the breath and the body are always in the present moment. Until you pass, until you die, go to the next level. And this breath and this body is always now. And that moment just passed, and that moment just passed, but it is the mind. The mind will have a tendency to ruminate on last week or project it to tomorrow. And in this ability to stay in the moment, it can be such a liberating tool to release some of the worry. Again, thank you so much for joining. My first name is Neil. Last name is McGuffog. I founded at the core about 8.5 years ago, coming up on 9 years ago. I'm 30 years on this recovery path of alcoholism, freedom from alcohol, working with a number of individuals over that course of time, having delved deeply into the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, and recognizing as well there are other avenues that help us to recover, whether it be from other addictions, food, sex, money, spending, these things, addiction to our devices, whatever that might be. This process of discovering and recovering can, in my humble opinion, help us to move to that next level. Speaking of movement, we begin this session today seated. So finding a comfortable, I'm waiting for a yoga instructor to say, find an uncomfortable seated position. No, finding a comfortable seated position. For me, I'm using a meditation cushion under my bum. Purpose of that is to bring my hips up slightly, allowing my knees to lower just a bit. Full disclosure. My right hip is 3 years old. My left hip is 126 days old. Who's counting? I am. And by sitting on a cushion, on a rolled up blanket, on perhaps another pillow, just to lift the hips, if it's available, you can certainly find the sit pose to make their journey, make their connection to the mat. If cross-legged doesn't work, butterfly pose is an option. Legs out forward is an option. Coming onto the knees. If you come onto your knees, a little trick there is perhaps putting a pillow, a roll of blanket between the hamstrings and the calves to create this position. So those are options as we find ourselves to assess this moment. Where are you in the physical body? How are you showing up in the physical body in this moment? How are you showing up in the mental state, in the emotional body? How are you showing up in the spiritual realm? Take a moment to simply arrive, to simply allow. Nothing to overthink, nothing to overanalyze. It's just this simple act of being seated. In the meditation world, regular practitioners will regularly reference, how was your sit? How was your meditation practice? Whether it was a 2 or 3 minute sit, or 2 or 3 hour sit. Simply allowing the mind to calm, the breath to gently flow. From yoga teacher and meditation teacher Rolf Gates, the idea of letting the breath flow like water. Some will let the index finger and the thumb connect in what we call the Gyan Mudra, the mudra of connection, awareness. So we'll just let the hands simply drape into the lap. We talk on occasion of hand placement, which is the terminology in yoga practices called mudra. And in your safe spaces, the spaces where you are practicing, feeling secure, supported, feel free to close the eyes. Acknowledging once again how the breath is moving in through the nose. The suggestion at the early part of the practice at this beginning is let the exhale go through the mouth. Each exhale to release worry, anxiety, fear, trepidation. Feeling the ebb and flow, the rise and fall of the core. Not only will the chest expand, but so will the belly. On your next in-breath, let's release. Sweep the arms wide and high. The palms meet above the crown of the head. And then each exhale through the mouth, we'll draw the hands to the heart center. A lovely opportunity to transition to nostril breathing. Regularly reference in the yoga practice, breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. During the course of this session, in each session, I'll suggest that you reach to a diaphragmatic breath. Maybe periodically a wonderful way to let go during the practice. So, but for the majority of it, we'll practice nostril breathing, ujjayi breath. If there is a purpose for your practice this morning, this afternoon, however you're accessing this on-demand session, this evening, please set your intention, your idea, your thoughts, your notions. Maybe it is around releasing worry. How can that happen? What would that look like and feel like in our emotional bodies and physical bodies to let that worry go? And please, on the next in-breath, let's sweep the arms wide and high. Once again, the palms meet above the ground. And as we exhale through the nose, right hand to the floor, left arm is going to be up and over. So we come into this lateral movement pretty regularly. Some will treat those right hands a little further. Some will get to the right forearm. It doesn't work for me. So I'm going to keep the forearm lifted off the mat as I move the head a bit. Yes or no? Hello, left side lat. Oh, yes. Drawing energy into that left hip because it wants to pop a little bit. We'll hold for 3. Breathing into that for 2. Now, please, left hand to right thigh and the right hand to low back. So we've gone from a bend to a twist. Probably, most likely, the gaze is over the right shoulder. And I'm using that left hand as leverage against the outside of my right thigh, especially on the exhale through the nose. Maybe that twists me a little deeper as we hold for 3. Breathing into that for 2. Okay, now on 1, only the head moves. So the torso is twisting to the right, but the gaze go over the left shoulder. As long as there's no pinching and no impingement to that cervical spine to the neck, inhale lifts the chin, exhale lowers the chin. So that's the little movement. Inhale, the chin lifts, exhale, the chin lowers. A couple more times, please. Nice. Now, please unwind. We're back to the heart, back to the heart space, the heart of the matter. Philando was saying from the heart center emanates all the wonderful stuff: kindness, compassion, empathy, tolerance, patience, forgiveness, but ultimately love emanating and pouring forth from the heart center. Once again, sweep the arms wide and high, the palms meet above at the apex, almost like a little crown. Here we go. Left hand to the floor, right arm up and over. Same thing the other side. What we do on one side will always mirror, unless I forget. Maybe those left fingertips creep down a little further. Some will get to that left forearm perhaps as we hold. Again, opportunity to move the head a bit. Working on the higher energy centers, the head and the neck. Right hip wants to pop a little bit, so I'm going to be mindful of drawing, imaging that right hip. We'll hold for 3. Breathing into that for 2. All right, here we go. Right hand to left thigh, left hand to low back. So twist is going on. So we had a lateral movement to the spine. Now we have a twisting motion to the spine. We hold for 3. Breathing into that for 2. On 1, only the head moves. So you're going to turn the gaze over that right shoulder. Inhale, the chin lifts. Exhale, the chin lowers. Keep going. A couple more times, please. Torso is twisting left, but the gaze is right as we lift up and lower down. Beautiful. Unwind. Back into heart space. Check in. Relax here. Okay. Discover and recover yoga piece. Let's transition to tabletop. So some will come directly through cross-legged. I'm just going to draw the knees out to the side, finding my way onto hands and knees. Once the wrists are underneath the shoulders, the knees are underneath hips. Inhale for cow. Exhale for heels. That's the motion. Inhale, dips the navel low. Lifts the sternum and the solar plexus forward. Exhale, the chin tucks and the ankles. So here we go for a few more rounds, please. Each breath is going to initiate a movement. Inhale is going to initiate cow. Exhale is going to initiate. Beautiful. All right, eventually we're neutral. All right, once this tabletop is revisited, right leg goes to the back of the room. Right leg is to the back. I'm going to keep the foot flexed. Eventually, I'm drawing that right foot over towards the left side of the mat, landing that ball of that right foot on hopefully what's a sticky surface. I want you to press into that ball of that right foot, turn the gaze down the left side bottom. So that should feel a nice expansion along that right hip. Maybe the obliques a little bit fired up on the left side. So ball of the right foot totally connected to the surface. You're pressing in through that ball of that right foot, right Achilles, right calf, sticky gaze, left side bottom. All right, we'll hold for 3. Maybe draw that right hip a little further over towards the right edge of that for 2. Okay, now friends, on 1, release that right leg back to length. Pausing here. Now, you may remember, or you may have, if you go to a workout facility or a health club, there is a machine that does the hamstring curl. We're just going to do that without the machine. Obviously, I'm going to bend that right knee, right heel towards right glute, and then re-extend. Exhale is the curl, inhale the string. And I'm going to try to keep that right thigh parallel to the floor. Here we go for 4. Nice, working on that hamstring curl for 3. Breathing into that for 2. Nice. All right, last one is you curl it in. Let's go ahead and lower. And when I come into a resting posture, I like to shimmy. So it's a little reset to the hips and the shoulders. And now the left leg extends back. Same thing, other side. Foot is flexed. Forward engagement, draw the navel to spine, but eventually left leg makes it over towards the right side of the mat. Right side, onto the floor, onto something sticky surface, and they gaze down the right side body. Hello, left hip. Hello, left ribs. As you open up that left side. Got a pretty strong connection of the ball that left foot to the floor as we hold here for 4. That drawing energy through that left Achilles, left calf. Here we go for 3. That's nice. Almost there for 2. All right, now 1. Let's re-extend that left leg. Okay. Now hamstring curl on this side. Yeah, you extend it. Inhale to find the curl. Here's 4, 3, 2. It's the last one, curled in, and then simply lower that left knee, big toes to touch, draw the knees out wider, simultaneously walk the hips back, walk the hands forward, child's pose. I mentioned earlier an opportunity to get fuller and richer and deeper on a diet, on a really diaphragmatic breath cycle. This would be a wonderful opportunity. While you're hunkered down in child's pose, very restorative, that the inhale expand through that core, and please, the exhale, as we work to release the worry, the trepidation. You know, for years I thought I was under the illusion that I had control. People, places, and things. Over time, through this recovery process, I learned I am powerless over many things, powerless over people, places, and things. What I have control over is myself, my response, my notions, my connections, my voice, my dialogue, my outreaches, and I have control over it. All right, friends, turn the palms up towards the ceiling. We like to do that for internal rotation of forearms. If you'd like to get a little more upper body or upper arm shoulder growth, press the back of the hands more intently into the mat. You should feel a nice engagement to the shoulder heads, to the shoulder girls' upper arms. If that doesn't work, just let the back of the hands nestle gently onto the surface of your mat as we hold for 4. Breathing steady into that for 3. We go almost there for 2. All right, now on 1, palms come back to the mat. Let the inhale hinge you forward. The shoulders will come back over the wrists. Tuck the toes under, lift the hips, first downward dog. So hang it out upside down, all is well. If this gets too much, you can revisit tabletop. I'm going to suggest that you explore. Maybe take the feet out wide, off the mats. Maybe even take the hands out wide and find a wide version of downward dog. As you bend one knee and then the other. Just find that exploration, that investigation that's going to help you find your purpose of your practice, the body release. Now inhale to the tiptoes. As you exhale, let's bend both knees, look between the thumbs. Let's take our time as we walk to the top of the mat, first standing forward fold. Arm to dangle, the chin is in. We have a little bit of an elongation to the back of the neck. You have the opportunity to bind. Some students that like to interlace the hands behind the head. Maybe coming up onto the tiptoes, perhaps rocking back onto the heels as you lift the toes. Maybe on the outer blade of the right foot, in blade of the left foot, vice versa, outer blade of the left foot, in blade of the right foot. Nice. Okay, friends, eventually, opposite hand grabs opposite elbow. On an inhale, let's come up the right side body. Inhale, come up the right side body. Oh, my head's cut off, I'll adjust that. So think about the head framed between the triceps and the biceps. The head framed between the triceps and the biceps. Let's do this. Exhale down the left side. So we're back to the fold. Maintain this. Now inhale up the left side. Sweeping motions, head reframes. Exhale down the right. So that's the motion we're going to go through. Inhale up the right side. Reach the top. Beautiful framing, guys. Exhale, we float it down the left. One more time. Inhale up the left side. Exhale down the right. Last time this time, inhale up the right side. Then exhale down the left. All right, once you reach here, reach the bottom, release the bottom, please. Arms are super heavy. Let's roll up the spine. Stack one vertebra on top of the other. Take your time. There's another train coming. Shoulders will become above the hips. Ears above the shoulders. Mountain pose. Steady breath in. Steady breath out. Relax the fingers. Relax the throat and the jaw. I reference the relaxing of the throat and the jaw, where we can find a voice of reason, a voice of compassion. A little story I can tell from yesteryear. That's growing up with an alcoholic mom, some adult child of an alcoholic. That's me. 8-year-old Neil, 9-year-old Neil, getting off the school bus in Atlanta, in the suburb of Atlanta, Georgia, where I grew up. As soon as I entered the house, I could tell by my mom's voice, the sound, the pitch, the pace, the volume, the inflection, whether it was a safe afternoon, unsafe afternoon. Of course, was whether she was drinking or not drinking. 9-year-old Neil didn't know that it had anything to do with alcohol, but I just knew innately, inherently, that by the sound, the tone, that there was going to be an easy afternoon or a challenging one. I took that auditory sense into my adult life, and it's been a challenge over the course of the decades to release that. What I would do is I would always look for folks in my midst who had a nice little lilt to their voice, a nice little soft pattern. If I sensed it as an image, something aggressive, I would sense that, and I would send a little danger signal, danger, danger. That fight or flight syndrome would automatically start to increase. So return to mountain, letting go, worry, drip off the fingertips. Let worry seep into the mat. Just let go. And inhale, let's sweep the arms wide and high. And as you exhale, I'm going to suggest we find chair pose, top of the mat. So I'm thinking, hips draw back so I can still see my toes underneath my knees. Finding this, biceps by the ears. We'll hold here for 3. Heels really grounded. The toes might lift a little bit, but eventually the toes come back to the surface of the mat for 2. Now, on 1, draw the hands to the heart center, please. Checking in, and eventually left elbow finds right thigh. Left elbow finds right thigh. There's a lovely gaze over that right shoulder, right elbow. The in-breath brings us back to center. Exhale, right elbow left. In-breath back to center. One more time. Left elbow to right thigh. Back to center. Right elbow to left thigh. Hello, twist. Back to center. Re-straighten the legs. Revisit mountain pose. And don't you know that during this travel on this path of life, lots of twists, lots of turns taking place. Yeah. All right, inhale, we'll sweep the arms wide and high, maybe a little tiny back bend. Open up that heart, shine that beautiful heart. And then as you exhale, it's swan dive, flat back, forward fold. Take your time. There's another train coming, so we can take our time as we release back to yet another forward fold. Maybe the P fingers met or palms to shins. Let's half lift. Exhale, fold it deep. All right, I'm going to bend the knees, my knees a little deeper. Bring fingertips, but eventually palms met. Walk the feet to plank position. So first power pose. Nice combustion, some strength through the shoulders and the chest. This next thing can be done from the knees or the feet flat. But if you can keep the knees lifted, this is a wonderful tool for building some of that strength. More resilient than we think we are. We'll hold for 3. Good, that's nice. Almost there for 2. Now 1. If you have all right, please do lower the knees, flatten the feet. All right, the chest stays lifted because I want to suggest we do this. As you exhale, lower chest and chin to the mat. You might sense, and on purpose, is that the glutes stay lifted. We'll call this inchworm. Inhale draws the heart through. We'll find up dog. And as you exhale, let's bend the knees, tuck the toes, revisit downward dog. Okay. Just the camera bit. So that is the motion. We're going to do that a few times. So setting up in downward dog. Reset. Let everything come into alignment. Heels are pressing low. Some students say, oh, do my heels need to find the mat? Not necessarily. Been doing this for 15 years. My heels never, every once in a while I find the mat. All right, here we go, friends. Inhale to plank. Exhale, knees lower, feet flatten, chest and chin between the thumbs. Inhale draws the heart through. We find up dog. What's that dog? Exhale, knees to toes, lift the hips. Downward dog. All right, 2 more of those. Inhale to plank. Exhale, knees lower, feet flat, chest and chin between the thumbs. Inhale draws my heart forward, up dog. Exhale, bend the knees, retuck the toes, relift the hips, downward dog. Okay, last time. Inhale, I'm hinging forward. Exhale, knees lower, feet flatten, chest and chin lowers. Inhale draws my heart through. Exhale, rebend the knees, retuck the toes, relift hips, downward dog. Again, tabletop is always a chance for you to reset. So please be kind to yourselves. Now, from downward dog, that right leg lifts. It may lift an inch, it may lift a little higher, doesn't matter. But only exhale, I'm going to draw that right foot to the top of the mat, low range. Can be done with the left knee down and the left foot forward. Excuse me, left foot a little lower. Eventually, though, I'd like you to lift that left foot and ground to the outer edge of that left foot. And let's cartwheel this left arm up and around warrior 2. So right foot is forward, left foot is back, warrior 2. Oh, my head's come off. Foot is forward, left foot is back, warrior 2. Now, torso facing like long edges of the mat, steady gaze over the right fingertips. Inhale, floats the right hand high, left hand goes low. So think about right hand high, left hand going low. Classic, what we call exalted warrior, peaceful warrior. Super rooting from the waist down, a lovely lifting from the waist up as we hold for 3. Breathing into that for 2. That 1. Return back to warrior 2 posture, please. On the next inhale, let's straighten that right leg, palms feet above the common. And on the exhale, open it back up to warrior 2. 3 more times. Inhale to root and rise. Exhale, open up. 2 more. Inhale, we lift and lengthen. Exhale to expand. Last time. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, we release. Beautiful. We'll hold here for 3. Steady with the shoulder, soft to the shoulder, soft to the throat and jaw. On 1, let's cartwheel and frame that front foot. Okay, here's an option to draw that right foot back to downward dog, or you could go through high push-up to low push-up. Yeah, you can revisit that, lower the chest and chin between the thumb, inhale, finding up dog recover. So we're back to the downward facing dog. So returning to the upside down, and as these discover and recover yoga practices unfold, my hope and desire is that you don't even need to see your monitor. My verbal cues are clear enough. You can just follow this, but I understand there's maybe folks who are new. So I certainly want to be able to demo and model, but we'll go slow. This is again downward facing dog. Once that feels pretty well organized, left leg lifts. Doesn't matter how high, doesn't matter where it goes. Eventually on the exhale, left foot, top of the mat, lunge. Yep, you could do it again with that right knee down if that feels better, but eventually right foot's gonna lift, right knee's gonna lift, and we're gonna take that right foot, anchor down, right arm cartwheels up and around warrior 2 on this. So same thing, other side. Left hand is forward, right hand is back. Torso is pretty much facing that long edge of the mat. Now inhale, left hand high, right hand low. Some like to wrap that right hand around the low back, some slide it down the right leg. Maybe the gaze to the outstretched fingertips, maybe to the gazes to the outer edge of that right foot as we hold for 3. Maintaining a nice bend into that left knee for 2. That 1, bring that left arm back to the front room, returning to the warrior 2 posture. Here we go. Inhale, straightens the left leg, palms meet above the crown. Exhale, release. 3 more. Inhale, root and rise. Exhale, let go. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Beautiful, guys. All right, let's do this on this one. Slip that right foot back to make the left foot mountain close. Another opportunity, just let go. Fears, anxieties, trepidations, the worries that mount. So I am practicing a news fast here. It's been since the 1st of April. Purposely, I don't have cable TV, so the cable TV is not in existence in my home, but I'm doing my best not to listen to the radio, the news channels on the radio. I get some updates on the phone, they're kind of hard to miss, but I'm clicking off of them quickly. If there's something super important, I know I'll find out about it. I know I'll hear about it, so I'm trusting in that process. So weight shifts to this right foot. I'm going to externally rotate my left hip. I'm on the ball of that left foot. And this is the kickstand version of tree. This is an awesome way to stay. If it's available, I'm going to slide that left foot up to the right ankle, right calf, or the inside of my right knee, inside of my right thigh. Anywhere but the inside of the right knee. So just looking at, seeing this again. From here, you're here, or kickstand version. So works best for your body. I've got a pretty strong connection of that left foot to the inside of my right thumb. Unless you get the arms left, you know my head's still off a little bit here. And if you come out of this, just begin again. Just a chance to begin again. Take care. Be kind to yourselves. Don't worry if you need to restart. Just start again. Okay. So eventually the suggestion is, I'm finally saying, what comes out of my mouth is just suggestion is right hand to the left thigh. Right hand to the left thigh and that left hand to the low back. And we'll have what it's called a twisted tree. Again, a lot of twists in this thing we call life, a lot of twists and turns. The unexpected happens. We maybe worry on things that we don't need to really worry about. We'll hold here for 3. And I'm bringing those right fingertips to the outside of the left eye as best they can for 2. Now, please, on 1, let's untwist. Unwind. So please, again, for me, when I come into a little posture to reset, I'm a shimmier. I just kind of get myself to reset, retrench and mountain. The last couple of weeks, we've been in the sessions I've been instructing, just talking about the beauty of the mountain pose and encouraging students in their mind's eye to picture your favorite mountain image. Maybe it's the Rockies, maybe it's the Alps, something snow-covered, a jagged peak. Maybe it's more soft like the Appalachians, Smoky Mountains. So something that gives you a sense of the majesty, resilience, power of the mountain. Immovable, beautiful, unpredictable mountains. Weight shifts to this left foot. I'm going to externally rotate this right. It's actually my left hip. I'm mirroring you guys. Okay, I'm on the ball of that right foot. Right ankle, right foot to left ankle, maybe left calf. Anywhere but the inside of the left knee. I'm going to see if I can get that right foot up to the inside of my left thigh. Oh, it's working. Yeah. I love the concept of balance, where we find it emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially, nutritionally, and physically. Arms can lift. We find this opportunity to salute the trees, the budding, the flowering trees. The spring continues to unfold. Wherever you are, we'll hold here for 3. Nice. Super balanced as best you can. If you come out of it, great use of a wall or a chair as a prop is super great. Okay. Eventually we twist. Left hand to the right thigh. Left hand to the right thigh, and that right hand to the low back. Hello, twisted tree. No, it's not twisted tea. Somebody was like, isn't that a drink? And it's an alcoholic drink, so it's not working for me. But twisted tree. The head reaches for the sky. We'll hold for 3. Breathing into that for 2. Yeah. Return to, we'll follow this in the Sanskrit practice, or in the yoga practice, the Sanskrit term for mountain pose is Dandasana. You know what? I might have made a mistake. I think it's Tadasana. Tadasana with mountain pose. I'll check the yoga books here to remember. It's been, teacher training was years and years ago. Okay, friends, sample slowly, hands on the thighs. Let's slide, wrap the fingertips around the knees. A standing version of cat cow. Inhaling for cow, exhale for cat. So we got the hands placed on the knees, placed on the thighs. Inhale for cow, exhale for cat. So we did it on all fours in table. Now we're just doing it standing. Inhale, the heart drones up and forward. Exhale, the chin tucks. We'll keep going for 4. Breathing steady into that for 3. Almost there for 2. And then on 1, you're eventually neutral. Let's continue the descent. Slide the hands down the shins and back to our standing forward fold, where I encourage you to find a bind. Some will grab the calves. Some will be able to maybe wrap key fingers around the big toes. So some options there as you find the bind. So we'll hold that steady for 3. Chest towards side, chin is in for 2. Anybody who has cheek, please let it go. Bring your fingertips across down and bend the knees a little deeper. Walk the feet back only to come to table. Only to revisit table. Beautiful. From table, I'm going to begin the spin. I'm going to brush my hips across the heels, take my shoulders out over the wrists. If I had a marker on the belly, it would be kind of whatever size circle that is, as we take it in whatever direction you've gone, because we'll switch that direction in a moment. Beautiful. All right, please. The other one. Here we go for 3. You maybe draw the side bodies out towards the long edge of the mat for 2. Now on 1, you're back to neutral. Okay, from this table position, right elbow lands underneath the right shoulder, left elbow lands underneath the left shoulder. I'm going to start to walk the knees back and lower the hips to the floor, Sphinx pose. So, opportunity to really engage to the low back. For me to set, there's a little hip shimmy. Nice. Some teachers describe a middle finger, wrist, and elbow alignment. If having the elbows directly underneath the shoulders is too much, you can draw the elbows a little forward of the shoulders. So, option now is to sink the chest, chin towards the chest. Relax the shoulders, right ear to right shoulder, left ear to left shoulder. So there's just a motion, a rocking, a half a neck roll. We'll keep going for 4. Here's 3, 2. All right, last one, your chin comes back in, but then you have a little lift to the chin, the toes tuck under, and they get slip. It's classic forearm plank. This can be done with the knees lowered. Otherwise, if you want to extend through the heels and feel that core engagement, hold for 3. We've got 2 more of these forearm planks. We'll hold for 2. Now on 1, if you haven't already, please do lower the knees, flatten the feet, and let the hips return to the surface. The hips return back to the surface of the mat. Again, maybe a little shimmy of the hips for the reset. Toes retuck when you reload. Again, please modify if it feels better to have the knees connect. Hold for 4. Yeah, engage the lower abdominals for 3. Yes, nice. Almost there for 2. Right now on 1, if you haven't, do lower the knees, already have, flatten the feet, hips lower. Okay. All is well. Last time. Toes tuck. You can lift the hips, keep the knees grounded, or you take the knees off the mat. Here we go. Breathing into this. We'll go for 5. All is well. Just letting go of worry for 4. Strong core will help that low back for 3. Lovely, guys. Nice. Almost there for 2. All right, now on 1, if you haven't already, please do relower the knees, flatten the feet, And then let's take the arms out like goalposts. Allow the chin to release to the floor, and then turn your head to your favorite side. For me, it's right side. For me, it's turning my head to the right. Turn maybe to that full, rich, and deep breath. Let the belly expand on the mouth. And then please, with the exhale, let it go, whatever it is. Focusing today on worry. All right, next inhale, you can feel the belly expand on the mat. But as you exhale, turn the head to the other side, please. Have a big breath in. But as you exhale, the head comes back to neutral. I'm going to make fingertips align with the tops of my shoulders. My elbows are going to hug the sides of my body. I'm going to purposely press up through table, child's pose. And the suggestion perhaps is to maybe take the knees a little closer together, as opposed to draw them out towards the edges of the mat. For me, I like to step one fist on top together, let that forehead nestle onto my fist, top fist, maybe the bottom fist. Big breath in, big breath out. All right, friends, here we go. Let's inhale, moving forward to table. No fancy transition here. I like to lower to my right hip or my left hip. All I'm doing is swinging the legs around to the front, transitioning to our seated posture. Finding seated, arms let the torso lift, soft through the throat and the jaw. I know I sound like a broken record, but just little gentle reminders as the arms lift. And this is seated forward fold. So in this version, you can use an old necktie or yoga strap to maybe help pop. The prop can help, or just grab the shin, grab the ankles. Some will have the hands on the feet. For me, again, it's slight baby bend to my knees to protect my low back. Because it's been 11 and a half years ago since I had a very significant lumbar 5 and sacrum 1 disc herniation, some degenerative disc back there. And lo and behold, it was the beauty of yoga, the power of yoga to help me recover from that significant pain. Hold here. We'll breathe into this for 4. All is well for 3. Here we go for 2. Now, please, on 1, walk the hands up the outstretched legs. Realign the spine. Soles of the feet meet. Hello, butterfly pose. Big toe mounts press. I got my hands behind my hips at first, but then I'm going to let my hands grab the shins, grab the ankles, maybe the tops of the feet. Some will have peace fingers wrap around the big toes. Hand on the length of spine, exhale, just a gentle fold forward. Wherever the torso goes, I've got some students who can bring their chest to the instep of the feet. That's super flexible, super range of motion into the hips and the adductors. You're fine. Oh, yeah. We'll hold for 4. Maybe a slight flutter since it is butterfly pose, maybe a little baby flutter for 3. Breathing into that for 2. Now, 1, let's let the spine, let the crown head come back towards the ceiling, knees towards the ceiling as well, soles of the feet on the mat. I just want to encourage you to make sure you put room behind you. But like that, soles of the feet pressing against the mat, and have knees closed on the floor. And this is the roll down. So a little core, but we did the forearm plank, so but this is just a little revisiting of core. Shoulder blades in the back of it, find the mat, and draw both knees into the chest. Hug it in. Maybe start to move from side to side, maybe even front to back. If you go front to back, tuck the chin towards the chest. Some like to do this rocking from front to back. I feel good to massage the spine in this version. Otherwise, you're just going from side to side. Okay. Now, eventually, we're still arms out like wings, knees float to the right, gaze is left. Classic spinal twist. Knees float to the right, the gaze is left. Option from here is to float that right arm across the chest, landing that right hand to maybe left collarbone, maybe left shoulder head. If that doesn't feel good, keep the right arm extended long. An opportunity to get into that diaphragmatic breath cycle a couple times. See what the exhale does to the twist. Eventually, let the inhale come back to center. The hips will lead the way, the knees will follow. And I'm going to suggest you rebound. Because it's so tight in the hips, I generally start with my shoulder blades to the back of it off the mat, but eventually, shoulder blades to the back of the head, release. Find that squeeze in, and then yes, other side. Knees left, gaze is right. Okay. Option to float that left arm across the chest. Noticing where it lands, right collarbone, right shoulder head. Who knows? You might get to the right tricep or bicep. Just maybe it depends on arm length, left shoulder flexibility. Notice the breath. We'll hold here for 4. Breathing into that for 3. Here's 2. Now stop please on 1, friends. Let's come back to center. I'd like you to rebind. Some will wrap the fingers around. I've got a few students that grab the hamstrings. I'm pretty much a shin grabber. I'm funny a shin grabber. And then please, let's go ahead, release the soles of the feet to the floor. For our resting period, that might feel comfortable for some. Some will find butterfly pose because that feels good as you find your way to Savasana. Others will take right ankle, right corner, left ankle, left corner in your own spaces. If there is a pillow or rolled up blanket you'd like to put underneath the knees, that's an or behind the head for support. All variations to get super comfortable and relaxed and releasing in Savasana. Please take advantage of these few minutes of stillness, of quiet. Few more moments, please. Okay, DNR yoga peeps, let's do this. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Find morning stretch. It may be morning, it may be evening, it may be afternoon, whatever time. Find its time of day stretch. Arms reach overhead, toes will point, or feet will flex. You might give the ankles a little windshield wipering, maybe the wrists a rotation, toes will wiggle. Ankles are the same. Inhale, lengthen to the more, but on the so we're drawing the knees into the chest, our final bind. Last little squeeze and tug. I've got some students that prefer to stay right here on their backs. As you perhaps revisit your intention, Perhaps he moves around, mitigating, releasing releasing worry. Some will float to their favorite side. I'm coming to my right side. Little fetal position of renewal, rebirth. So wherever you are, let's purposefully and intentionally start to make our way back to seated. I'm grabbing once again that meditation cushion from under the bum, revisiting the cross-legged sukhasana, so whatever that seated posture is for you that works best in this moment of reassessment, this moment of reassessing your practice, your presence at this moment. Showing up again, how you're feeling in the physical body, the mental state, the emotional body, spiritually connected. What experiences are you having in these elements? The experience in the physical body, the mental body, the emotional body. What is the spiritual experience that may be recognized in this moment? Eventually drawing the hands back to the heart center, acknowledging from the heart space all the wonderful stuff that emanates: kindness, compassion, empathy, tolerance, patience, forgiveness. Oh my goodness. Ultimately love. When we close, we seal the practice in the traditional fashion. Please know the divine light, the teacher, and the spirit that dwells within me, indeed, with a bunch of gratitude, and hopefully with a deeper understanding of mitigating and releasing worry, bows to the divine light, to the teacher, and to the spirit that dwells within each of you all. Namaste. Namaste, DNR Yoga folks. Drink plenty of water, get rest. Love you all. Questions, comments, feedback, always welcome. You can put them into the chat at any time. Until next time, namaste. Be well.